Okay, bonjour, hi, Montreal and Quebec. Okay, I acknowledge that the land where we are gathered today is, in Teotihuac, Montreal, which is located on unceded Indigenous lands. The Kanien'kehá:ka Nation are the traditional inhabitants of this area and are the true caretakers of the land, with two communities bordering Montreal, Ganawage and Ganisetake. The land was never ceded nor surrendered. Historically, Teotihuaca, Montreal, has been recognized as a gathering place for many First Nations. It served as a natural resting place for First Nations travelers at the point of divergence. I honor, recognize, and respect these nations as traditional stewards of the land and waters on which we are gathered today.
Thank you, Mike.
So, looking a little forward, loses more support as the CAC falls to third behind the PQ and the Liberals in the poll. So that's good news. Old Frankie is falling, and probably good news for this gentleman over here, who is the mayor of Drummondville, or sorry, Victoriaville, right beside Drummondville, and Mr. Antoine Tardif is considering running for the leadership of the Liberal Party. In the news, also, 30% of the Quebec daycares fail the quality assessment of the Auditor General reports. So if your kids are in daycare, the facilities they are in might not be up to par with what they're supposed to be doing. And just one quick one for everybody, public service. Okay, should you equip your teen with naloxone in case of an opioid overdose? And the answer is yes. You can acquire naloxone at any pharmacy for free. And it is something that's very simple to give. It's put into the nostril, and you squeeze it in, and it is something that can bring somebody back from an opiate overdose, whether it's fentanyl or morphine or heroin, all depending on what, of course, it is and what the dosage is. So it is something that can save lives. There's an awful lot of people who uh, inadvertently ingested that unknowingly and have died. And sometimes youngsters in their teens can get a little experimental and make the wrong choice, and it doesn't deserve a death sentence. So that's something that's worthwhile
Very,
keeping. It's something that doesn't
very,
cost you anything, and it's a very simple thing to use. There's all kinds of YouTube videos on it. If you acquired it and you don't know how to use it, you can see how to use it. And as we have this, one of the famous bumper stickers we had when I was a paramedic, and it read, "I narconed your honor student," meaning that it can happen to anybody. So anyway, and with that,
thank you for sharing that. That's very cool.
please don't forget to mark your calendars for June the 8th for English is a Crime, which will be a protest happening downtown during the Grand Prix when there's lots of crowds around, and we will be getting the message out to the people who are attending. We are not going to be obstructing anybody. We're not going to be causing traffic mayhem or anything like that. We're just going to be out there spreading the word and informing people. Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, without any more delay, Mark Perez.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much, Mike. Just stop sharing your screen. I'll go into mine, and I think if I go into presentation mode here. Okay, you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Oops, this is way too far ahead. Okay, so bonjour, hi, and kwe, and I'd like to start off by thanking everybody for all the volunteers, for all the time that you have spent, for coming to meetings, for the parking, for the food, for the support, for the moral support, for the phone calls, for listening to me and shooting the SHIT with me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Without you, I would not have the strength to continue doing what I'm doing. and I've been delegating a lot of work to a lot of you, and you've been taking a lot of off of my plate. So thank you. Um, we're progressing a lot, and I can't wait to share what's going on tonight. So for those who don't know me, my name is Mark Perez. I'm one of the organizers of the Coalition of Independent Thinkers. I could be reached at by email at info@Quebec, and text message or phone call at 514-963-7685. Do not be shy to call or text me. Most of you already know about the Let's Talk About Quebec. We're a Montreal-based think tank, and we're here to get to figure out what the problems are in Quebec and what the solutions are. And we're going to be shortly asking the population their opinion on what we've been achieving so far, so that we could know if we're going in the right direction or not. Here's a little bit of a bio about me. I'm born in 1981. I'm a child of 101, and I've been involved with a lot of different organizations, and I've actually officially became a board member of the Red Coalition, which is an organization that fights systematic racism. I would like to thank all the thinkers that are on board that are helping us with all the various committees and topics and stuff like that. Again, without you, we would not be able to achieve what we are achieving right now. So, committee report on healthcare. Mike has scheduled an event for May 30th at 11 a.m. Dr. Arthur Fisher is going to be meeting with healthcare professionals, and he's going to be discussing his what he believes is the way to fix the healthcare system. If you're interested in participating, we only have 3 more availabilities. So send me an email at info@paronji.quebec. The partition committee, we met the constitutional lawyer. I will go into deeper details of what happened. The fundraising committee, we still have the pledge of $250 for an advertising campaign called French is Not in Danger. We have not I haven't focused much on it, but there's $250, $225. There was a pledge for $250 for English is a Crime, which is the event that's happening on June 8th. We were able to raise enough money to get that pledge, so everything's in. So that's, thank you very much for everybody who donated, and we still need donations because now that we have $500, a lot of it is going to go to printing material for the day of the event. From the events committee, we're going to be talking about a couple of events that are coming up. I think that's in my next slide. Yeah, next slide. We are going to start talking about a new party. The first meeting is going to be this Tuesday, May 28th at 8 p.m. If you're interested in participating, let me know. This is going to be a meeting that's purely dedicated to the initial preliminary stuff of the party and stuff like that. So if you want to jump in, that's all it's going to be about. It's not going to be anything about the think tank. The marketing committee, we need your help. I'm still getting overwhelmed with a lot of things because of all the people we're meeting and the traveling. So I need help. I need help with people posting on Facebook, our weekly events, our updates, making sure that people get responses and stuff like that. It's become a little, it's not become, it is cumbersome for me to upkeep that. And that's exactly where people are looking for the information. So if you know anybody that could do web design or that could just simply copy paste things in various groups, please share their name with me. The next event is May 26th, this Sunday, which is a rally in front of Legault's office from 1 to 3. The theme is, our dissatisfaction with the Legault government and everything they're doing to destroy Quebec, especially now that the OQLF came back on their word in saying that French is on the decline, which we all know is not true. The next event after that is on the June 8th, which is English is a Crime. We had a meeting yesterday, very productive. We discussed the t-shirts. We discussed about printing 10,000 flyers. We discussed not costumes, but a sort of uniform that we're going to be wearing, and
Oui.
and various other things.
T'aimes ça les araignées, toi, Arthur?
Hey,
Est-ce
bonjour,
que tu voudrais
Jay.
une tarentule, Arthur?
Salut, salut Jay.
Si, Arthur, souffle dessus.
Mute
Salut
him.
Jay.
Mute him.
Salut Jay. Est-ce que tu voudrais que on communique en français aussi? Si oui, juste écris un message dans le chat et je traduirai ce que nous sommes en train de dire. The 20th of August, we have a meet and greet in the Eastern Township. It's going to be a collaboration with Guy Rex Rogers, where we're going to be showing the movie What We Choose to Remember. And if people are also interested, we're going to be filming for the Je suis Québécois, where we're going to be accepting people to say it in French, in English, and even if in their language that they speak. We need to raise $800 for the deposit. So until we get that $800 for the deposit, it's not guaranteed that the event is going to happen. So we need help fundraising. If you're willing to make some calls and speak to people and get some money in, please let me know. The program Je suis Québécois, the event went very well. We got the video and we're reviewing it and we're doing the editing. The costing of the recording and the rental of the studio is $90. So please, if somebody could sponsor those $90, please email me or call me to let me know. We're still organizing the 100,000 rally in Quebec City. Because of the logistics and the growth of this, we had to delay the event because a lot of organizations want to participate. And organizing everything is very, very challenging, and we need to get insurance as well because we are organizing something that is massive. So, yeah, we need to put this on hold, but tell people about it so that we can get the word out. June 8th, we met our goal of $250. This is the Facebook link to the event page. Unfortunately, the original one got deleted, so we have to re-like or re-show that we're interested. So please go ahead to Facebook, and if you get invited to the event again, please show that you are interested. So this is the pledge and the donation for the French is Not Endangered campaign. And I would like to say thank you to Mike, Claudia, Cynthia, Antoinette, for donating to the English is a Crime in Quebec to match the pledge. I'm pledging $50 as well. The $250 has already been transferred and we have it. So thank you very much, but we still need to continue to raise money because just to give everybody a perspective, when I organized the event for the task force for November, we spent $10,000 just to get 500 people to attend that event. So, definitely the more money we have, the more budget we have to push the advertisement on social media. We need volunteers. We need volunteers for the June 8th event, for the May 26th. We always need volunteers. We're going to be printing flyers for the June 8th event, and we're going to be going and putting them all around the city from downtown to Montreal West and stuff like that. A lot of people have asked us what is the game plan. Phase 1 was basically getting the Bill 96 in the courts. The phase 2 was the think tank, which is what we're doing now. Phase 3 is starting on Tuesday, which is building a new political party. And phase 4, winning the election and bringing peace to Quebec. And how can you help us? Simply like our page, share the comments. If you see an article on our Facebook page, copy paste it. If there's a picture you want to share, just go and share it. If you need anything, just call me and tell me that you need it, and I will provide you with that information. So that is the end of my slides, and that's 2018, so good 15 minutes. And now we're going to open the floor to Q&A. And I'm assuming that the first question that I would like to talk about is what happened with the meeting with the lawyer. Is everybody in agreement?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And the timer, we have 10 minutes for the Zoom session. If this session ever closes, I will reopen the same session. Just re-click the link and we will come back. Okay, so what happened is that we got there at noon. Well, actually, we got there at 11:30. We showed up early. He had a TV interview, so he came a little later than 12. But parking was hell. Driving in that area was hell. So we went ahead and we all tried to make it on time. So in the end, Claudia and I were there speaking with him, and we started asking him a lot of questions. So bottom line, he said that there's no way for us to partition from Quebec. Municipalities, cities, and everything, they're creatures of the government, of the Quebec provincial government, and therefore I don't know if I could share the name of the lawyer. It was a contact through a friend, so I should have asked him for permission. I'm going to ask him, and if he says yes, then I'll share the name. So he said that basically there's no pre-partitioning. We can't do it. And back in the day when Pontiac wanted to do the partitioning, that was their best opportunity. And the fact that they didn't follow through with it, basically the federal and provincial government have closed a lot of the loopholes. How bad is partitioning or separating? So let's talk about a referendum. So let's say Quebec does separate, they win the referendum and all that, and they separate. The first thing he said is there's zero guarantees that Quebec keeps the borders that they have. Okay, so there's 0% chance that they keep it as is. Canada could split it as they want. So that's number one, which means when we hear PSPP say, oh, we have our borders and they're defined, no, not at all. Number two, all the indigenous people will not automatically get their lands. So when we read the land of acknowledgement and we say that the land has never been ceded, should there ever be a referendum, their land is not guaranteed. The only land that is guaranteed is to the Inuk who live in the north. They're the only ones who get to keep their land, and if they want to be part of Canada, they can. All the others, the Algonquians, the Crees, the Mohawks, and stuff like that, they're all going to have to renegotiate their lands. So that's another thing that we learned. A lot of the loopholes that we were going for have been patched up after the 1995 referendum. So when we say that if Quebec can separate from Canada, well, we can separate from Quebec. No, it's not true anymore. We can't do it. So technically, we would have to, the federal government and the provincial government would have to negotiate as to what happens with Montreal, the Pontiac, the Eastern Township, the corridor, the St. Lawrence, Hydro-Quebec, and all that. So if we have a federal government that wants to create this corridor and that's their negotiation, then that's going to have to be something that the federal government negotiates with the provincial government. So he said that if he wanted to write, like if we were going to hire them to write a dissertation as to what the path and strategy would be, it would be somewhere between $15,000 to $20,000. And as far as fighting things at the Supreme Court of Canada, nothing can be done on hypotheticals. Everything has to be based in law and in facts. So we can't say, so the fact is that the Supreme Court recognizes Quebec Anglophones as a minority, okay? So the fact that Legault comes and says, well, the Quebec Anglophones are not Quebecers, or they're not a minority of Quebec, they belong to Canada, that's not true. So we could technically use that as a minority status. And the UN says that they don't like people to split the land if they're not autonomous enough to survive. So that means even if Montreal, there's a major loophole and Montreal becomes a country or another state, it has to prove that it could sustain itself economically for it to be approved at the UN level and on the world stage. So that's another obstacle that we're facing. And everything has to be negotiated in good faith. What does that mean? Nobody knows. So as we can see with Brexit, bottom line, the fact that Quebec separates or they get the mandate for referendum, it's not an obligation. It's just it's a time for them to speak with Canada. They could always back out of it. They could always say we don't want it anymore. But if they do, it has to be done in good faith, and their land is not going to stay intact as they think it will, and it could take many, 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 many years before Quebec actually separates and becomes officially its own country. And there's a lot of things that it would have to go through in order for it to happen. So those are my notes. So if you have any questions, there's 3 minutes left to this, 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to this meeting. I could take one question now and then reboot the meeting and then reopen it. Any questions?
Nope.
Okay.
That was pretty good. I mean, nothing much has changed since the last week. The information is pretty well the same.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we got the negative part of it yesterday.
Yeah. So there's this one thing. So the good thing that we actually heard yesterday is that there's something called the RIP, and it stands for Référendum d'Initiative Populaire, and it basically says that if we get 15% of the voting electorate, registered electorate, to vote, we can we could overturn, discuss, bring to court certain things. So, should we want to challenge Bill 96, if we get 15% of the population to agree that we don't want Bill 96, from my understanding, that would be the best path forward to reverse Bill 96, instead of taking it to court and everything. So, and this is true of almost any subject, any law that the government passes. And the reason why we brought up the RIP is because of Pauline Marois tried to use it in 2010 or 12 to launch a referendum. And she said that if she gets 15% of the vote for to call a referendum, she would do it. So this is the strategy that we believe that PSPP is going to use if he wins, or even if he loses the election. That's why when he says there will be a referendum by 2030, it's not because he's predicting that he's going to win the election. It's because he's going to use this RIP to call a vote on the referendum, whether he's in power or not. So if we have to look into the RIP and see how we could use it and possibly use it to overturn Bill 96. Stephen's coming in.
Stephen?
Yeah, Stephen is coming in, and then there's...
okay.
I'm hoping Stanley comes back there, but... So that's that. So, hi, Stephen, welcome back. The last thing that I said was basically if we could use the 15%, and my thoughts are that the PSPP is going to use this RIP method to do a referendum by 2030, and I'm pretty sure they're preparing it right now.
Sure.
So by our calculation, registered voters in Quebec, making sure your name is on the list, registering your name. By the calculations, it was like 800,000 people. I think that like the population was like 8 million or something like that. So 10% is already 800,000. So Yeah, so about 850,000. If we get 850,000, we could definitely do something. So that's the path that we're going to go on. And we got the CAPQ sent an email a long time ago. Actually, I think it was dated for April, and basically their solution to partitioning or whatever is basically requesting the federal government to apply the Swiss something survey, which is basically asking people if they want to be part of Canada or if they want to be part of Quebec. And based on that, the answer that everybody gives, my video's not on, based on the answer that everybody gives, either the like Montreal will stay part of Canada or not, but that's basically the report that they give. So I really think that there is alternatives. We're definitely looking into it. Claudia is going to keep looking. We're reading a lot of different books on the subject, so we have a lot of good questions, and we know that the answer is out there, and we just have to find it. But right now, the 15% is where we're going.
An option to definitely explore. Just
Yep.
be familiar with it anyway, so that you know how to get into it when if and when it comes time.
Yep. I sent the invitations earlier.
When did you send them?
I sent it on Wednesday, and I sent it 2 times today.
And did the Wednesday have a link as well?
Yes.
Did it have a pitch? I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
Oh.
Did it have a pitch?
The pitch is basically the same email that you would have gotten today.
All right, let me ask you.
Yep.
How many invitations did you send out to this Zoom meeting?
To this Zoom meeting, 3.
3. Well, we're more than 3. How did you get more than 3 if you sent it only 3 links?
Oh, how many people? To how many people? 301. Yeah, 301 people.
301. Yeah. Okay, that's
a
good number.
Yeah.
And you've got the 6, 7, 8 people, I suppose, here now. So something's wrong.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like. So okay, go ahead, finish your thought, and I know where I'm sorry that I jumped in, but please continue your thoughts so that I can.
No, that's okay. Social, the social portals are a gold mine for this. I think all of the people here present probably are active on these social portals. So I had mentioned in the last meeting is that if you can post, posts that not advertise, but explain briefly the objective of this organization. And we invite you to join us on Zoom to learn more. And if this can be broadcast to 1,000 people, we need exposure, we need people, we need mass to be able to achieve all of these projects. Wonderful projects, but without mass, you mentioned 100,000 people at a rally in Quebec. Am I right? Or I mean,
that's correct.
Where are you going to get 100,000 people?
So the 100,000 people are coming from various organizations that have reached out to me, wanting our help, and us reaching out to them, asking them for their advice on specific topics. So, for example, we reached out to Quebec Réunifié about immigration policies. Okay, and they have about 40,000 members. So if you take 10% of the people from there, that's already, what did I say, 40,000? So that's like 4,000 people right there. So a lot of people want to protest. A lot of people want to participate in a big way. Yeah. That's how I got the idea of 100,000.
Okay, so why do we not have 150 or 200 people on this Zoom link?
Because there's a lot of things to consider. Okay, the first thing is a lot of people don't want to be active. They don't want to know. They just want to be told what to do, where to come, and help in other ways. A lot of people do view our video replays. I get a lot of that's why I usually send one the following day, with the link to the replays and stuff like that. What we've noticed, so on the page where I showed all the different volunteers are helping with different things, like Dr. Arthur Fisher, right? He doesn't enjoy Zoom. He despises Zoom. And for him, he would rather meet people in real life, in person. So we organized that kind of thing for him in person. When we do our meet and greets, when we do our rallies, that's where a lot of people come, because that's something tangible that they could do. They could come, they could hold a sign, they could participate, they could donate. So people that come to these meetings on a weekly basis are the ones that are so dedicated that they take on a portion of the work and they help spread the word, and they help get people and grow. And we have people in the Eastern Township. We went to the Eastern Township, I don't remember when, but it was a couple of months ago. And the people that came to that event are the ones that are helping us organize the August 20th. And because they're locals, they're bringing in a lot more people from their place.
So the most recent rally that you had, how many people attended?
So the last rally that we did was 50 people.
50 people. And the highest number of people that attended a rally?
Are just a think tank, or including with the task force?
A rally,
500.
500. Okay.
Yeah, 500 that I've organized and participated. But that's, like I said, I got a budget of $800 and I transformed that 800 into 10,000. We did ads in the Suburban. We did radio ads on CJ80.
Yeah.
There was a couple of mix-ups because people were trying to help, but sort of put a stick in our tires instead. But that being said, it takes money, and the fact that this is a think tank, a lot of people didn't understand the separation between the think tank and the task force. So it's like I have to rebuild everything from new.
Okay.
So I can't take the emailing list that the task force has. That's I signed an NDA, so all that gets deleted. Any contact information or anything like that I didn't get personally, that I provided, everything got deleted. So I don't, we're like literally starting from zero all over again.
Okay. And you say Facebook is the most popular avenue to promote the organization?
Yes. At this moment in time, yes.
So Joseph, Cynthia, Lee Marie, Stan, all of you, are you on Facebook? The answer is probably yes.
Yeah.
Right. So that's hundreds and hundreds of repostings on Facebook.
Yes.
So if you could prepare, I think I mentioned this in the last meeting, if you can prepare a pitch, it's got to be the right kind of pitch to Facebook, and then everyone will repost it.
Okay, I could do that.
LinkedIn is another situation.
Actually, so I have a tool that posts to all the different platforms in one shot. So if you go on Facebook, if you go on LinkedIn, if you go on Twitter, if you go on our Google Business, if you go, you'll see the same post posted on all of them in one shot at the same time.
Okay. So because we're connected on LinkedIn, I think all of us should be connected on LinkedIn, those that are present. And when you post, we'll see the post, and then we'll repost to our contacts.
Yeah. Do you like the page? I don't know how it works on LinkedIn there, but are you following the page or whatever the thing is?
I'm not familiar with the page. I'm sorry.
Okay, so here I'm going to share the link in the chat.
Okay, great.
Copy, and where's the paste? The chat. So this is the link to our LinkedIn page. Go and follow, or whatever the terminology is for LinkedIn, and you'll see the moment that I post something there, I go into my personal profile and I share it automatically. Well, no, not automatically, but manually.
Could you share it now here? Could you share it?
I shared it's in the chat.
Oh, it's in the chat.
Yeah, chat is on the bottom of your screen.
Yeah.
Right to the left of the green button.
Yeah. So I'm in the chat. Let's see. Show chat previews.
Yeah, Dave just liked it. I think you and I connected through LinkedIn, so let me send it to you in that chat as well. Ooh, Karen, interesting. More people are joining.
In LinkedIn, you're sending it?
I'm going to send it to you in LinkedIn because I see you right here. There you go. There you go. Oh, Steve.
Yeah.
So Cynthia tried to follow you, and she tried to friend you or connect with you on LinkedIn, but she couldn't. She could only follow you.
Okay, my vote for favorite human of the year. What's what? Okay, I'm not seeing it in LinkedIn. Excuse me.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll send it to you by email.
All right.
Stephen LinkedIn. Yeah. So that's no, those are great recommendations. I would definitely like to work with you on something like that. I used to when I used to post on Facebook, I used to copy the text and I put it on a Google Drive. And then I would just tell if anybody wants to copy this text, just click on this link. It'll take you to the Google Drive and you could copy paste it to your profile.
But it's got to be the right message, you know. And from the top of my head, something like, oh, I don't know.
How about we work together? Let's schedule some time together, and we'll do it.
Okay. And
Okay.
it's got to invite people to participate.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. And here's our objective. Here's our objective. Here's our plan, and we welcome, inviting the people. Give them a reason to invite. It's like writing a song. There's a hook in a song. You know, when you're
Beautiful.
songwriting, you write a song and there's a hook that brings people. Anyway, there you go. So let me know your availabilities, and we'll talk.
Okay, perfect. We'll do. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you for all your effort. Thank you.
I look forward to, like, Legault said one day he's going to retire and he's going to be on his porch and he's going to think about how he saved French. And I think of the day that he's sitting on his porch thinking of how he screwed Quebec royally. So, all
right, okay.
That's it. Lee, Marie,
Steven, I just sent you a friend request via Facebook too.
On Facebook, okay.
Yeah, I did too.
Marie, I'm going to put you on mute because I can.
Sorry, okay.
But Steven, we can't add you. You don't have a friend button on LinkedIn. It's only like a follow button, so I couldn't add you.
You could request to be a contact, and I accept it.
Like through the message?
No, when you search me or anybody, and you say, I forget what the words are. Hang on a sec. Let me have a look.
Add as a friend or something like that.
I don't. There's no
contact.
add as a friend. That's what I'm telling you. It's message, follow, and then wait a minute, more. Oh, connect. Let me see.
Yeah, connect.
Add it. Okay, send without a note. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It's something like this.
Got it.
Actually, you know what I could do? Stephen Chakra. Here, I'm going to copy his thing. And sometimes it says, like, if you have something here to follow, you could just click on more, and then you click on request connection, and sometimes it's going to ask you to write, like, how do you know Stephen? And you just have to write a message to Stephen so that LinkedIn doesn't think it's just a spam bot or something.
Yeah.
Mark, I just have a comment, and it's always the same comment, but
sure.
It's just like you're doing another rally, and I just don't want us to, like, I don't want to look bad. I don't want people laughing at us. I don't think it's effective when we don't have a lot of people. Okay. I think we need to build a base, then start doing these rallies. I think they're just too frequent in my opinion, and I don't think it looks good.
Okay. I value your opinion, you know that, and we've had this discussion. Yeah. And I didn't have a rally last month, and we didn't have any press coverage either. So I'm going to take the gamble and pull Greta Thunberg, and just go. And who shows up, shows up. Nobody shows up, nobody shows up. That's it. That's all.
Everybody remember, show up often, early and often.
But for this one, I won't be showing up. I'm not showing up for the small ones. I've done it. Okay, I'm just telling you. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. It's no obligations. There's no obligations to come. And people do enjoy coming and talking. And now that the weather's going to be nice, we're just going to be there chilling, and we're going to be talking. People are interested, and I'm going to advertise our event for the June 8th. So, yep, I'll be there. 1 to 3 in front of Legault's office.
Formidab.
Yep. Any other questions, comments, suggestions?
Which one is this that she's not showing up at? Is there a new one that I wasn't aware of?
May 26th, this Sunday.
Okay, no, I won't be able to make that.
Yeah, from 1 to 3. Okay, so if there's no further questions, we're going to adjourn the meeting.
All right. Seconded.
Seconded. Everybody have a great evening. Thank you very much. I look forward to hearing from you. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email or call me at any given time. Thank you.
All right.
And
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you,
evening.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Good night.